Here we go. Alright, so here we go. This is the run. Alright, so what I do to start off is I do the same thing every time. I always allow that first guy to hit me, and when you do that, when you stay up to the top like that and you let the first guy hit you, you'll get a double kill when you do a special slash to the left. And then I get all three at once, so that usually averages 4 seconds. And then the second frame there, it's like always the same, so I get the right and the left, or it depends. Sometimes it could give me a left and right, but it's in the same spot every time. This section here is usually kind of tricky for anybody who's trying to do this casually, just because of the fact that you don't know where the balls are going to spawn, or when they're going to come out and which direction. I always look at that as random. But I always look at this section here. As long as you're done with all of this first little half of this stage in 38 seconds, you're looking pretty good on time. That's usually my goal, is try to be done with the first section of purples, the blue section, and then the second set of purples right there in 38 seconds. And if I get that done in 38 seconds, I'm looking pretty good on time. And so that's my goal. And so if you're in that frame of mind right off the bat and knowing when to get done with that section, I think you're doing pretty good. Okay. So then you get this blue section again, and again, I feel like it's completely random on this, just because you don't know when the balls are coming out. And so I try to get this under 50 seconds, just because I want the next section to all be on top. And what I've found is over time as playing this game is that even though it's on scrolling, it's also timing based, I feel like, because I get different patterns at certain intervals of time. So if it was at 50 seconds, I would get these purple guys on the bottom instead of the top where I want them. And it's just how it works for some reason. I don't know why. It's all based on timing. There's like a global timer on the boss fights and all that kind of stuff. So as you watch this section, I always jump back and do a back kick to hit that guy who's coming out of the door. Hey, got him kicking the door out. So just because I want to see if the guys are going to spawn to the left side, and I'm hoping for that left side spawn. But since I came at an earlier time, they didn't come on top, so they came on the bottom. And then the two guys came on top there as I did that. These white guys are pretty simple. As long as you get it within that minute 5 range, you're looking pretty good. And I always want that last section of purples to be on top, because if they're on top, it's going to be pretty good time. And if you notice the time right there, it's already at 110. It's already on 110, so that's a good sign going in that you're going to get a good first time. And I'm trying to get a 150. I'm trying to get 150 range inside. I'd probably say 152 to 155 range. And if you're going to get world record pace, that's what you need to be ranging on this stage alone. And I'll tell you what I'll do on the next section here. So on these guys here, these are the roadkill Rodneys. I always go to the far right first and then do a jump kick back over. And then as I do it, I head down to put them together, and then they're all together, so you get the kicks, get the special slashes. Alright, so this section here, you have to kill those two at the same time. If you don't kill those two at the same time, or you get a weird different like hit at the same time, like one hit before the other or something like that, it's going to change on how these gunners are going to appear. But if you get both of them at the same time, these two gunners come out the same way. One on the top right, one on the bottom left. And notice what I'm about to do. So I hit the guy on the top right first, and then I'm coming down towards the middle. I'm doing a jump kick towards that bottom left one. Okay. And then this boss fight. This boss fight should be pretty basic. This is like one of the easier boss fights to take care of. And if you have this could be a consistent 150 pace range every time. So I usually line myself up, and I usually line myself up, if you could see the end of his I don't know what you call that, like head eye bandana. I don't know what you want to call that. I can't remember what they call it. But if you see it on the middle, like right around the middle of that pot looking thing, I don't know what that is. I don't know what April's doing, but anyway, um, this is where you see where your headband is, and when Rocksteady comes out, I'm in the right spot, and so I give him the quick slash, and then wait, and then I hit him. Well, I hit him immediately, and then I wait till he goes over to the side. But as he's going over to the corner, I move, and so I'm right in the dead center. Oh, I see. Hi-Fi just commented on my video. Thanks, Hi-Fi, if you're watching. Thank you. Um, and so that's what's going on. So that's what's going on right here. So I hit him right in the center of where the opening is of the drill, and then he's in a stun lock from there. Stun lock, stun lock, stun lock. So he's just going to stay there. So there's a reason why I say I would say the first 5 bosses are free, and the reason why I say that is because their RNG is pretty simple. Like there's nothing really difficult between the RNG from now until we get to at the end of Hopper stage. Well, I call it Hopper stage, but I would say Baxter mutation stage. So these guys coming up are going to be the basic 5, and then the last 5 is what makes or breaks your run. And so you can stay pretty consistent. You'll see how I'm going to be pretty consistent for the first 5. It's the last 5 that I'm worried about, because if I don't get any time saves on the last 5, then this run is obsolete. So I base my timer off of when Shredder hits the window and it goes onto that screen. And so when Shredder comes out, you basically have a 4-second oh, oops, oopsie, 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 oopsie. Let's go back, oops. Here we go. Alright, so sorry. Alright, so there's Shredder. Okay, minute 48. So this is a 4-second window. Okay, so what happens is that Shredder's going to take April, and he's going to come towards the window, jumps towards the window, and what happens is that's a 4-second gap. So my time once he hits the window is going to be about 152 here. And as you can see, I hit about 152.33, just almost exactly what the 4-second gap looked like. Okay, so the next stage is stage 2. This is a pretty basic stage. The beginning part's pretty basic. You hit this guy here with that sewer, and then they'll either spawn right, left, or left, right. Doesn't matter. That guy, I got lucky that the spawns came on the right. They can both spawn from the left. It doesn't matter. This right here has been something I've been actually working on, and it's actually helped me with a little bit of a time save. So if they double up on the left side, I'm going to do a jump as it's transitioning and do a back kick going backwards, like so, and got both of them. And then they'll spawn. I think they both spawn left here. I might be wrong. Hold on. Yep, they both spawn left here, and that was very quick. So you can complete that part in about 23 seconds. With those purples in that blue section in about 23 seconds, you're looking pretty good already on this stage. But it also is very dependent on the next couple of parts. So you take care of this guy. This guy's easy. Okay. So you want to try to get the guys to spawn on the right side and try to take them out as fast as you can. If you can get them out on the kick, it's preferable. And that's what I try to focus on, is trying to knock the guys out on the kick. Most of my 27 runs is focused on just that idea with these purples that kick. So if you can take them out, that's faster than waiting for them to kick, then do your special slash. Yeah, took him out really quick. Okay, these dynamite guys are ridiculous sometimes. Look at how I'm lined up in the middle here. So what I want to do is I want to hope that I get 1 on the right and then 2 on the left, or vice versa. So I can't remember which one happens. Okay, so the guy spawned to the left, so I'm doing a quick jump over to the left and hoping that the next guy spawns to the right on the next frame. So there it is, and so then I jump back over, hit that guy, and you can see the other guy already spawning out. So what I'll do is I'll hold the B button coming down and do the special slash by just hitting A. And so that's what you want to do. You want to utilize that idea in the Japanese version, is that holding the B button and just pressing A almost the entire time. Okay? And boom, just like that. And you're moving the next onto the next screen at 38 seconds. You're doing pretty good. And this is according to my time and how I keep the timer. Okay. I love this section. I don't know why I love this section so much, but this is like the best screen that I just love this screen so much. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a special on the bottom guy right there. Take him out. I'm going to take out the next guy who's kicking at me, and then the guy that's on top came down. And what I do is I go down slightly to hit that guy, and it's put me in a good position where I could do a jump kick to the guy on the top but not land on the top. And I love this. This is the best kick. I love this kick. This is the best kick of the game. Bam. Just like that. Alright. Alright, so here we go. Alright, so this next section here, you cannot get hit here. It's a big time waste if you get hit, and I think I do in this run. Yep, there it is. So what happened there, I mean, if you think about that for a second, me getting hit right there, I actually lost about 2 seconds because I got hit on the wall and it had to come down. So I lost about 2 seconds. Dude, Hi-Fi, what's up, man? How's it going? I hope you're watching. I hope you're taking some little notes here as I'm doing this. I'm giving some ideas here. This is an easy section though, on stage 2. I just repeatedly go back and forth. If my goal is to be done with that whole section at about a minute 10, minute 11, and you're on a good pace. But on this one, I was at a minute 12, and we were not on a good pace. Okay, this is my favorite. Okay, there's a few instances where I actually used the twist slash. This is one of them. I'll twist slash left right here. So take out both of these yellows. Boom, boom, like so. And then sometimes they'll, depending on what's going on here, usually a guy spawns on the right side. I hit it. Dude, I saw that run. I saw you guys race. I watched the replay of the race today. Dude, I can't believe you guys shunned me. How dare you guys shun me? I'll give you guys like a 30-second head start. 30-second head start. Would you do that? Okay. Anyway, so I'll hit the guy there, jump left. Okay. This is pretty self-explanatory. I'll just stay up on the top here. You'll notice that I like to stay on the top on most parts because most of the guys actually spawn from the top, not the bottom. Will do, sir. Will do. It's going to be a long tutorial basically. Thank you, Rodas. Thank you for tuning in, man. Okay, so this is the Bebop fight. I usually do 2 jumps back over. It's similar to the Rocksteady fight, except that when he actually lands, boom, it's all like boom, boom, boom. So you don't want to mess up the hits. I usually time the hits. I kind of don't try to hit tap, 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 tap really fast. But yeah, dude, I want to do a 3-person race. So right there, I'm at 2 minutes. It's going to be about 2 seconds after that. So I think I did this in 2 minutes, 2 seconds, which if you think about that, if I would have done this stage a little bit better, this could have made the time about 27:10. But anyway, so moving on to the sewers. Okay, this is something I do specifically with the sewers. Do not, and notice on the bottom left corner with the controller pad, I don't press anything with the buttons other than going downward. And so what happens is that I I wait for these two guys to pop out of the water, and they need to pop out at the same time. So when that happens, I want to position myself into a point where I want to hit both of them at the same time. If I hit, again, it goes back to the first stage where if you hit one slightly first before the other, it kind of messes up the next pattern that you're going to have. And so what I do is I hit both at the same time, and I almost messed it up. As you can see, that I hit the top one faster than the first one on the bottom one. But then I'll jump up, and then usually the guy will spawn right first and then two to the left. Boom. But this time, since I messed up the pattern, I had two on the right, one on the left. So if you hit both of them at the same time, it's going to be a right, then two left. And then this section is usually pretty easy. It usually gives you one left and then two right, or vice versa. Okay, these five, it just depends on what pattern it gives you. Sometimes it'll give me that pattern like it just did there, and then sometimes it doesn't. So I mean, it's just based on how you kill the guy, where the next one spawns. Alright. And these guys, you always have 5 Mausers. This is pretty obvious. Sewer levels is really fun. Okay. Alright, five vacuums. Okay, so now this section here. Okay, so there's gonna be 6 of these. I think I'm gonna need to take a timeout for a second. Hold on, guys, just for a second. Alright, sorry about that, guys. My daughter, I think, was calling for me, and so I went out for a second. Okay, anyway, so this section here has 6 white guys, white ninjas. 2 will come out of the water, and I'm always banking that the guy will come from the right side, and so he does. So I'll take these 2 guys out, and I'm hoping that these 2 guys are together, because then I'll go down here, take out those 2 guys, like so. Alright, so now the next thing is I'm going to figure out where these next 3 are coming from. I'm hoping they come all together, and if they do, you're in a golden position. This is like the best RNG you can get. 1, 2, 3. All right side, and that actually is a good time save. So now I'm going to move this screen at a start at 102. And it's pretty crazy. So then you got your 5. You're going to be a part of my 5. You guys remember that? The T-Mobile commercials where they talk about, oh, you got my 5. Alright, so after you hit the 5th one here, I go down right about here. My daughter's crying again. Hold on, give me a second, guys. Alright, sorry fellas. Okay, so here we go. So now the next thing, this is pretty consistent every time. Once you hit the 5th one, you go down here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the first blue. I'm going to hit the first blue, and then go right underneath that. Used to be when we first started running this, I used to see Junkyard like go underneath that and go down into the water, and and that was actually a little bit of a time waste going down and then coming right back up, I felt like. So I saw that this idea could work because it comes down immediately. So if I'm close to that, it goes back up and I can get underneath that. Can give me a time save. I'm going to use one of my ideas where I do a jump over, and when the screen stops, I'm going to jump kick back to the left. Take out the guy on the left, take two guys out, and then come 1, 2, 1 left, 1 right. Doesn't matter which way they come. And then these next two sections here, after the Mausers come out, have to be pretty consistent. Where you jump over one side, there's usually two that come from left and right, and you have to just be very consistent. Okay. Now I'm looking at the clock every time I'm doing this part here, because I want to be done with the last Mauser at least by minute 43. Taking the two guys out on the left here, two guys out on the right. Okay, so now I position myself. So I position myself on that line a little bit because it makes this fight easier with Baxter. And you want to try to get at 3 hits every time he's doing a circle. And so I'm trying to get 3 slashes every time. If I can't get the 3 slashes, but I can get the jump kick and 2 slashes in, then I'm pretty set. And this was actually not a bad fight. It could have been better. But you want to try to avoid the Mausers that he throws in. And so by that time, I'm at 608 going into the Taurus stage. I've had runs at the beginning where I started with a 603 here. So it's very possible to be done with 603. But again, it's coming to the idea that I think the first 5 are free versus the last 5. So anything's possible with these first 5, but the last 5 is what determines the entire run. So now we're heading on to the Snowman stage. Alright. Yes, you dine on turtle soup every day. Okay. Alright, I'm always trying to do a jump out of there. I never know what's going to come out of those rocks, but try to avoid that as much as you can. Try to get to the top. Okay, so this is my favorite section here. Oh, I stopped it exactly at 20 seconds. Alright, so I want to try, my goal is to be done with this section by 25. No more than 26 seconds in. Okay? So I want to take out these purples as fast as I can, and I'm just going to stay on this top right. Again, I feel like they spawn more from the top than they do from the bottom. And again, I'm utilizing the strategy from earlier when I said I don't want them to kick. I want to hit them before they kick. Okay, so 26, moving on to the next screen. So that tells me the snowmen, this is weird. Okay, this has told me that the snowmen at 26 are going to come up from the top. If it happens at 25, there's one on the bottom and one on top. So it's like I said earlier, it's based on a little bit of a timing thing, where they're going to appear and how they're going to spawn, but also screen wrap around. It's a little weird. So one top here to the right, and the other one's going to come from the left. So I'm going to take this guy on the right first. And as soon as I hit that guy with the last hit, I'm jumping over there as fast as I can before he shoots that that missile at me. Okay, so he blows up at 49. That's pretty good. If you're seeing 49 on the screen there, that's pretty good for the start of the stage. You want to be out of this first 3 sections in under a minute. So here's the snowball, guys. I'm going to hit the guy on the right. I do this every time. I hit the guy on the right, then jump back and hit the guy on the left. And then you just try to stay middle and hope that the guys are going to come more to the left side than the right. Okay. So I'm already moving on to the next screen in less than a minute. And so now it's going to be like the first part of the stage where the purples come out and jumping, but now you got the holes. I'm going to still stay on the very top and try to hope to see if the guys are going to stay up top. And the interesting thing is that at the very beginning, those two guys, I feel like they always come up to me, and so I always do that. Let's just stay up there and just hope that they come up to me. But that last one's usually pretty stubborn, so I'll have to go down to him all the time. But moving on to the next screen at about a minute 11 is actually pretty good. I've had instances where I had a minute 8 in there, and that's where my actually PB had a minute 8 coming out of that. All right. So this is another section where I take out the right side, jump back over to the left to try to get the guys on the left, and not bad. So moving on at a minute 30 is probably what you want to have anyway. You don't want any later than a minute 30. If you have this later to a minute 30, that means you're going to have a poor stage altogether. Okay. Snowman, I see the one that's already jumping from the left side. I'm hoping he's coming from the left side because I'm moving him towards the center. Boom. Get him. And then the guy coming down, I hit him. And it just so happened that the guy spawned right in the center where I was already standing. So I usually go up to the top here to try to avoid these blocks coming. You have a better chance if you're right on screen like that. Okay, so when you get to these guys here, I'll take the bottom one out first, then come up and hit these next two and get a double kill. I didn't get the double kill, but pretty close enough. Okay, and again, I'm trying to avoid them from kicking. It actually wastes more time. Moving on at 2 minutes into this section here to the tour fight is actually pretty good. So now what's going to happen is what I try to do here, I'm going to do a jump immediately, and I'm going to go back to the left and come to the right just like so. And then I just do kicks back and forth. This is a kill that's pretty technical. You have to get it down pretty well. You want to make sure you get a pretty good distance on all kicks. So I'm going to land at a pretty good spot here, and then just go. Just go. And there you go. And that's all you're doing the entire time. You're just jumping back and forth, jump kicks. And this is about 30 seconds. This is one that I had to learn over and over and over again. I spent time practicing on this kill particularly because I knew Tora was going to be a make it or break it stage in my beginning runs, but then I realized once I have Tora down, it's really not a make it or break it stage. It's the last 5. So Tora's killed, and at about 2:32 it looked like that I hit there. And so now I'm at 8 minutes 40 seconds going into Baxter mutation, and we haven't even gotten to Granitor yet. This is one of my favorite stages because the beginning parts of this stage is all about doubles. And I'm going to show you why this is all about doubles. Okay. Right off the bat. Okay, the guy on the top is actually going to come downward. And if you jump and make a slight downward motion, you should get both of these at the same time. But I didn't. I missed. I didn't get the right pixel, so I missed the bottom guy completely. Okay, I'm going to just do a jump over. You're going to see where these guys spawn. And there we go. Now, this white section is pretty standard. They usually do this. It's pretty standard. Okay, it just depends on where this guy spawned. Alright, so this section here, you want a double kill here. Okay, so the guy's going to come up from the top, and then one in the middle here. The guy from the top is actually going to come down. So I'm going to go middle, and then boom, like that. You just take them both out. Don't even worry about the guy on the left. The guy on the left, you'll take care of him eventually. And see, those are the little things that I'm mentioning, is like, some people will hit a guy while you're moving, and they'll stop and hit the next guy. Well, you kind of don't need to hit that guy while you're moving the screen sometimes, and so I'll do that from time to time. You'll see here that I'll do one here where there's 2 of them, but with that screen there, I hit the 2 on the right and just move it over so I can get the other guys in. Alright, another double section. The guy from the top is going to come down. One, two, there's your double. Okay, and then the guy's going to throw the knife. He always throws the knife every time, so once you do the double, just make a jump and do a jump kick over to the left. Boom. Got him. And then just figure out where they're coming from. Alright, you're going to have two kickers. I will kill the first one, and then wait for the second one to jump in, and there he is. Stay on the top. Three of them went up top. Three of them, one of them went on the bottom. Okay, so now the next part here, where you have the car coming through. This is pretty. Do the jump kick when the car is coming down. Now I want to know if there's a way to get all three of them, but I'm not going to waste my time on this part specifically because I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal anyway, because you have to screen transition anyway. But I want to get the jump back over and get the two guys coming on the top part and get that double kill. Again, this stage is all about double kills. Trying to get double kills. There's one. Okay? And then you just try to get those gunners. The gunners can be very tricky. They sometimes will come to you and sometimes they won't. And those two guys actually came to me, and if they come to you, you want to move as much as you can before they stop and start shooting you. That's the pattern I've noticed with those guys. And so don't just stand there and hope that he's going to come to you. He's going to come and actually stop and shoot, and he's going to mess up your time. Alright. Hit the guy up top. Guy over, and just, if you need to do jump kicks. There was a double kill that I wasn't planning on. It just happened to come out that way. It was good RNG actually. Alright, another section where the car comes down and three gunners. Boom, there's your double. Okay, hit that guy right there. Okay, guy's gonna come from the left. So, and notice how he was coming towards me, so I went down to try to get him like to not shoot at me. And this guy here, he wasn't doing anything, so I just went up and got him. Okay, so I figured out this is like a pixel perfect little spot here. As you walk across this thing, you'll see a barrel. And you see that truck. Three guys are going to come out of that truck. If you stand right at this right pixel, you can hit that barrel, and then every time the barrel will blow up, and those three guys will kick at you the entire time. Every time. I don't know why. It's just, they do that every time. And see, they kicked. All three of them kicked the same direction and got hit. And so that takes care of those three guys immediately. That's your one triple in this stage. And now this pixel, for some reason, is very nice. I went down a little bit, but I went back up to it. Okay, so for some reason this pixel's nice for the next section. Okay, so these three here, if you're lined up just like this, you'll hit the first two, and then the third one will get hit at the end. Just like that. And it's right on that same pixel. I don't know if that's the reason why it works, if it's because it's pixel perfect, but at the same time, at the certain screen there, I'm like right where the door opens, we're on the right side of the door. So all of those played into this triple kill. So I try to get that triple every time. If you get that triple, then you're on a time save. If you miss the triple and you get hit, you're going to lose like a second or two. And then these guys here, they just throw out stars. They're not really a bother. This fight here, I figured out that watching, I can't remember who I watched. I think I might have watched Frank FC do this, but I watched a run, and I noticed that when they did the jump kick, because I used to do the jump kick to start off. When they did the jump kick, they did a special at the same time. Well, my idea was I looked at this fight again and I said, you know what? Why don't I try the special first and hit him and then do another special? And I did. And I realized it actually takes one less hit if you do it this way, which is a huge time save, which is a good time save. It's like 3 seconds. It's a really good time save. So I wait till the orbs pop up and then I make my hit. And so that's what I do here. Just wait for the orbs to pop up and then do my jump kick, my special every time. Once he starts flashing, it's 5 hits. If you did the jump kick idea, it takes 6, which is interesting. So there you go. There's the so this is 11 minutes and 6 seconds is really good. Now, the last 5 is where everything gets crazy. So a lot of technical stuff here in the next several stages here. Next 3 stages, to be honest with you. Okay, we're gonna do the first the non-skateboard highway part. So here we go. Okay, I'm gonna try to get the double kill here, and I do. Always make the jump to the right, and then you just take out these blues. Take out the blue man group. Okay, these are spears, not Brittany. Okay, spears work the same as the gunners. Just so you know, they work the same as gunners. They will come at you, and they will try to stab you with the spear. And it's almost the same AI as the gunners. There's your roadkill Rodneys. Don't mess up those roadkill Rodneys. Dynamite. Okay, I'm always banking that there's going to be dynamite guys up here, and so I'm hoping that the first one or the second one is up here so that it's not going to be too bad for dynamite. This guy spawned here and here, and then there's one there to the right and left. That guy moved away, so gotta improvise. Those guys will be just far enough that you can't hit your special on them. So you're doing everything in your power. If you can jump kick them, if you could do whatever or jump around and try to get them close to you to get that special, get it as fast as you can. 58 seconds moving on to the next screen transition is actually pretty good for this stage. It's actually normal for me. And then spears again. Spears again kind of work like the gunners. You want to hope that they come towards you and not away from you. Okay, so here we go. Alright, bombs. In this game, you want to try to jump kick them and then jump out of it really fast. I kind of messed this up though. I didn't do good bombs here. I tried to do a twist slash, it didn't work. Okay, so I'm a little bit behind. I want to try to get out of there at a minute 21. I got out of there at like a minute 24. So I was a few seconds behind. Okay, stay up here for the for these guys. Most of the guys will spawn from the top. The kickers, the purple kicker guys, you usually spawn from the top section there. Okay, so this section here, the next 2 sections, you're hoping that they'll come 2 guys from the right side on the top. And this has happened. It happens pretty regularly with me. That 2 guys will spawn from the top, but this time it didn't happen. Again, looking for double there. Nope, didn't get doubles. Double came on the bottom actually. And then you get 6 blues here, 4 reds and 6 blues, and then this section here. Okay, so I've kind of developed this section over time, and I realized if I can hit the guys before they jump out, it's a huge time save. So we hit the tire guys, boom. Okay, so I'm going to go over to this top left. I'm hoping and banking on this top left to be the most spawn. There's 1, 2, boom. Okay, so if those 2 guys are coming over the top, that's your ideal. That's an actual time save. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. Hit the last tire guy, I'm going to go up. 1. Oh, guy came over. Oh, he hit me. So I missed that. Okay, so I'm now going to do a twist slash. Okay, so now another thing I've realized. Once I kill the last guy, I actually don't have to move the screen at all. So just stand there. And then you're on to the next section. Now, this is a big time section, and I saw Hi-Fi and Junkyard do this in their race yesterday. This is very important section. So if you hit this right, you're looking pretty good on the stage. Hey, that's pretty cool. All 2s there. Okay, so I'm wondering what this helicopter is going to do. If he's going to come in pretty quickly, it's going to tell me I need to do a certain type of special slash, which is actually the AB presses. Well, what I've developed over time is that I'll just do a BA press to start off, a AB press to start off, and if he came in slow, then I can hold B, press A the entire time. If he comes in fast, that idea by holding B and pressing A, he will not get hit. The helicopter won't get hit. So if he comes in fast, he's too high. And so I'm going to use the AB slashes. I'm going to type the AB, 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 AB like that instead of holding B. Okay? So here's the first one. He came in fast, so I had to improvise. If you don't hit him right away, you need to improvise right away because he's going to drop bombs. He's going to drop a lot of them. So I jumped out of there and did a jump kick back, and now I'm just going to use the AB slashes because he's a little high. Plus he came in fast, so I'm going to make sure I get him with the AB slashes. Okay, coming in slow, use my AB slash, and then just hold B, and just move with him. Get rid of him. Okay, you're going to have 4 gunners and 4 boomerangs, and it just depends on how they come out. Sometimes they'll come out nice like this, where they'll come out on the top, the 2 on the top, and they'll come to you. And then these boomerangs were nice. They helped out a little bit. Okay, again, fast, but I had to avoid the bomb because he dropped the bomb. But then I got my hits in. Now, if you do a jump kick, you have to hit him. You're gonna have to hit him more times, and then I missed again. So actually, I messed up on helicopters and still did an insanely good time on this. Okay, 310 is actually not too bad. To head into this, I'm looking usually under 320 here when we run into this. I don't know what you want to call it, like call it guardrail. I don't know. Doesn't look like a guardrail. It looks like you just run into a wall. Anyway, you just run into this wall around less than 320. You're doing really good. However, it's this section here that's very important to start off. Here you go. Okay, the 5 guys, 5 Mausers like always. Okay, 5 Mausers. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Once you hit the 5th one, do this every time. Hit the 5th one, go down. He's either coming from the left or the right. He came from the left. I was hoping right. And then you go right back up, and then 3 of them are coming right back up. And there you go. 3 of them just came up right up to the top. Okay, Mausers. Okay, all right. So now this section here, there's always, I'm going to tell you this right now. Nobody spawns from the right other than this one guy. It has never happened ever. All these guys will come from the left after you hit the one on the right. One on the right, and everybody will spawn from the left. That was actually perfect spawn. You want that guy to be on the top left like that. Sometimes he comes down to the bottom. Just depends on what happens there. But then after you hit that last guy, jump and do a jump kick to the right so that you're on the platform. Okay. What I do is I take care of this guy first, and then I'll do a jump down, and sometimes the guy will spawn on the bottom right. Now the rest of the spawns will come from the bottom. It will not be on the platform. Okay. Alright, so I want to be centerized, and you kind of worry that I'm about to get shot at, but I'm going to, he's still coming onto the screen, so I'm going to do the special slash, take care of him, and then that guy didn't come down or anything, so that was nice. The guy up top didn't do anything either. Okay, so here we go. Hit the guy on the bottom. I'm not worried about those 2 guys on the top because they'll come down to me. But they'll come down to a spot where I can actually hit them. So on the very edge of the platform, you can hit them. And so I'm going to stay right there and hope that these guys will spawn from the top, the middle right. So I can hit them just like that. And there they are. It was pretty simple. That was the ideal. Okay, so 425 going in is actually not too bad into this section here. Now you got spears. Sometimes the spears can mess you up, but that's good RNG right there if they come from the left side, just like that. You take the guy on the right, jump over to the left, get that guy, and hopefully they come from the left side like that. That's pretty good RNG. That's usually pretty consistent. That's why I usually go for it every time. Okay, doggies. Doggies just mess with me, and I laugh when I look at this because I usually don't miss that. But did you see where they spawned? It went far left, far right, far left, and it's like, what am I supposed to do with that? So they're just so random. They'll place them in all together. They'll place them in just like that. It just happens. All right, so this is what I do here. I stay on the top, and I'll try to get the guys before they start their jump attacks on the right side, and let the guys on the left come in. And there's a twist slash. Do twist slashes if they're needed. Sometimes they're not needed, but sometimes they'll actually be very helpful, just like right there, because you need to get the guy on the left and the right at the same time. Alright, the guy in the middle window is going to come in. Take him out. Again, you want to try to get rid of the guys out. I did a twist slash there. Okay, here we go. Drones. Okay, this is my baby right here. This is my baby right here. Drones. Okay. Alright. This is actually a very simple strategy. For the longest time we thought drones was so difficult, but we figured out what they do. It's actually not that bad. Their lasers don't really do much of anything. They kind of shoot where you were versus where you are. So it's like, okay, so if I move slightly, they will shoot prior to where I was. Okay, seems reasonable enough. So what I do is I stay here in the middle, and I'm going to hit the guys on the right side first. Okay. There's my first. Okay, and then I'm going to go down. I'm going to actually go straight down. And I'm going to do a twist slash to take out those drones on the right, and then hit the ones on the left. Go boom like that. So now what they're going to do is they're going to do a circle right back to me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hope that the lasers are going to hit me. Don't do any special attack until the lasers hit you. Hit me, and then boom. They circled around and wrapped together, and then you get them both at the same time. Same thing here. Do it again. Hit them on the right. Twist slash. Get hit by a laser or two. You can get hit by 2 lasers and still not fly off. Only time you fly off is when you try to do that slash in the air. So again, they come together. Boom, hit them both at the same time. Now, this is something I've been thinking about doing with these boomerangs for a while. The guy on the top likes to come down. So if I can get the double kill of these 2 guys on the right side, then it should be an easy setup kill. Here we go. They come together. There you go. Got it. And then the one on the left likes to throw his boomerang. So I'll hit those 2 guys, go up, and then jump back over like so. And this actually turned out to be a very good RNG here. Usually these guys have crazy AIs, and they just go all over the place. I don't know why that happened here, but these are the only boomerangs that actually go crazy the entire game. Alright, there's a twist slash here. That's pretty easy. I just, again, stay on the top. Okay, jump. Okay, this fight is pretty explanatory. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a jump kick back over to Granitor. So once I get the screen ready and he comes down, I'm going to do a jump kick back to Granitor, hit him once, jump over to the left a little bit so he can come to the left. And then you just start slashing. Now, I'll hit him 3 times. And he hits me. Okay, so the next time I start hitting him, it'll be 4 times, and then that's it. So what I'm going to do is kind of wait like a little half second here before I start slashing him. This came from, I think Frank mentioned this when he was doing some runs of this game and for the US version, and noticed that this was his pattern. So I'm just going to get knocked back over and over and over again, but I'm going to try to get 4 hits every time. So 1, 2, 3, 4. He gave me 5. So if he gives you 5, he's going to hit you immediately on the next one. Okay, so he's going to give me 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 hit. 1, 2, 3, 4 hit. 1, 2. And so you kind of like step in a little bit to kind of get that little half second in there. You go 1, 2, 3, 4 hit. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh. He gave me a little bit more than that. Okay, there you go. And that's Granitor. That's an easy fight. That's one of the easier ones coming up. Alright. So 633 getting out of that stage is actually pretty good. I've had 626. If I would have got a time save on that, that would have really put the world record on a really tight pace there for 27, like flat. But But now we're moving on to Shogun, probably the worst stage of the entire game. If you mess this stage up, it's basically the run killer right here. We always thought that the Taurus stage was the run killer at the beginning when we started these runs, Junkyard Dave and I, but then as I progressed, I noticed that it's this stage, and that we both noticed that it was this stage that either makes or breaks your run. So here you go. This is the Taurus stage. This is the Shogun stage. Okay. Really quick, I call this the greatest Shogun, if you guys get the reference, because the last movie that came out was The Greatest Showman, so I call this the greatest Shogun. Okay, so there you go. This is the greatest Shogun. Okay. Alright. I even got hit at the beginning, and I still got this time save. I don't know how this happened. You want to be out of this first section in 13 seconds, not 16 seconds. Alright, couple things to note here. Okay, I'm going to take care of this guy first. I'm going to take care of that guy. Now notice what I do there. After I hit him, I move down, because if you're on the same pixel after the first hit, those guys will jump back. I call these guys orangutans because they kind of look like orangutans. So, if you're on the same pixel, that's after you hit them, they jump back. And so take out these guys, and then utilize anything. If you think you're not going to hit them on a special slash, move down. Okay, there's this section here. 5 guys there. Okay, you want to be out of these first 3 areas in under 40. If you're not past these areas in under 40, then you're kind of behind. Okay, take out these 4 guys. Just get a feel where they're going to come from. Use a jump kick if you needed. Okay, these guys, this should be an automatic triple. Just stay in the middle, just where I'm at. Stay in the middle. 1, 2, 3, and I missed it. That was like the first time I missed the triple. Now here's something. After you hit those 3 guys, if the guy spawns from the left side, the second guy is going to spawn from the left side. If the guy will spawn from the right side, the second guy will spawn from the right side. They don't do a left-right pattern. So just be aware of that. If they spawn from the left side, they'll both spawn from that left side. If they spawn from the right, they'll both spawn from the right. Okay, I'm going to hit this candle. Frank said it might not be useful to hit that candle, but I think it is, because it gives all 3 of those guys in there. And if the candle's there, for some reason, if that candle is there, then you get 2 of them at a time. But this candle is there, you can have 3. I don't know what they did. I don't know what the makers of this game did, but I don't know. It's just interesting. I tried to get the double there at the beginning, but it didn't work. Utilize the candle to hit the guy on the far left. Okay, this should be a jumping section. Don't get hit by those bamboos. That's a waste of time. Okay, so here we go. Tigers. Here we go. Tigers. Alright. Learned this from Junkyard Dave. Tigers. Here we go. I can't remember if I do the special or the regular. I usually play it safe by doing a regular slash, then special, regular, then special, and then get the pixel perfect spot. And you'll see that here. So here we go. Oh, I did the special, regular, special, and I tried to go for the pixel perfect, missed it, but there we go. I got 8 hits anyway, pretty quickly. So minute 40 going into this one. Now do the special here, and you'll lock the tiger easily in the pixel perfect frame, where you can just get the 6 specials and you're done. So I'm going to stand right here where that red box is. I guess I don't know what that is. Is that a trash can? Anyway, looks like a phone booth, a miniature phone booth. Anyway, so I'm going to hit him once there, hit him twice there, and notice where my head's at in the middle of those 2 doors, and then the tiger will just, come out every time. 4, 5, and 6. Boom. 6 hits. Easy. Done. Okay. Alright. This is something I've been actually utilizing for scorpions. This is usually the toughest part of the stage, is the scorpions, the tigers, and the scorpions. The scorpions, I've noticed that I don't know why this works, but the A-B slashes work better than the hold B and press A slashes. I don't know why, but this works a little bit better. My goal is to trap them on the side, like so, because once they're on the side, they're stuck there. So I use the AB slashes, take care of the one, and then try to line myself up and trap him, and then trap him. And that's what I do. I try to trap them. So you want to try to trap them against the side there, and it makes it a lot easier. Yes, you know, the God pattern, I guess you would say, can get it done in 4 seconds. That actually can get it done, you know, on average, you know, what, 8 seconds, 10 seconds, 8 to 10 seconds, and you're done. So if you're trying to trap them and just do it that way, instead of just like, okay, I'm going to try to hit him, I'm going to try to hit him. No, it's not going to work, because they're going to start shooting at you. They're going to start trying to do their tail whips at you. And so I found that this strategy actually works best, and kind of like moving around instead of trying to get them to stay in one location. What's the one enemy that does that to us? The one enemy that does that to us, that moves in the one location. Oh, it's like the gunners. It's almost like the gunners again, just because of the fact that if you stay in one pixel frame in the same spot, and they're on the same spot, they're gonna shoot at you. And so if you're doing that moving around idea, it could actually help you from not getting hit by their shots or their tail whips. So here you go, orangutans again. Same process I'm going to use here. If they're too far away, I'm going to go down, and there I go down because he's too far away. So to save time, and it actually, to be honest with you, it's actually faster if he stays on the ground and you hit him versus if you hit him when he jumps, because he goes back up in the air and does like this little hang time thing, and then he comes down. So if you keep him onto the ground, it's a little bit faster. Okay, this side here, I go to the left side. I'm going to take these guys out on the left. Again, I'm trying to avoid them from jumping to save that time. Boom, boom. Okay, don't want to jump. Okay, let that guy from the right come in. Again, I want to keep the guys on the left side from jumping in and doing that exactly just like that. Now, if you got a guy that's not doing what he needs to do and coming to you, just leave him alone, because if you know that there's more guys coming in, he'll eventually come to you. That's why I stay on the top for the most part, because most of them spawn from the top. And if you have those couple guys coming down from the bottom, unless he's the last one coming down from the bottom, let him come to you. Don't waste the time going down, then having to go back up to get him. Alright, so I get the pizza. I just get the pizza for, you know, it's Pizza Hut. Come on. But we all know in the movies. Okay, first of all, we all know in the movies that they get Domino's. Okay, they get Domino's. They don't get Pizza Hut. Okay, let's just put that out there. Anyway, so again, I stay on the top part there. Most of the guys came in the bottom there at the beginning, so I had to take out a couple of them so I could get those spawns again. All right, but here's the Shogun fight. Now look at this time, 2:48. I've had runs where I've gotten into Shogun by 2:46, 2:47, and Shogun has messed it up. This is why I call it Greatest Shogun, because this is the one run that I've ever had at this time that his head did not fly off. Because remember, his head is on a global timer. According to Junkyard, it's about 4.2 seconds, something around that range. His head can fly off at 4.2 second range, and if he's going to lose his head in 4.2 seconds, then I'm in trouble. So right now, I don't know if the timer is at, but there's that 4 seconds. Four seconds. Okay, hit him. Okay. At another 4 seconds there, he was being hit, and now he's a slashing mode, so he can't have his head come off. His head still didn't fly off. He's getting hit at those 4 second ranges, and then boom, there's the perfect Shogun. The Greatest Shogun, right there. So that entire stage, I had mistakes in that stage early on in the stage. Could have easily made that time almost a 3:20 if I did not get, one, got hit at the beginning, two, did not get hit by that tiger, And then 3, if I had God Scorps, it could have easily been a 320 with everything that happened beforehand. So the greatest Shogun can still possibly happen, but I'm not going to go for it at this point. I mean, that's as best as I could get it at a 323 time, and that was ridiculous, even with all the little mistakes that I made on that stage. So I got a 6 seconds time save going into this. I got about 12 seconds, and my time is looking at 27:20, and that's the lowest that I've ever had at one point in a run so far. And so I was looking pretty good. Now this stage here, Technodrome, it gets very technical at points. But what I'm looking for is being at the elevator in less than 2 minutes. That's the goal. Be at the elevator in less than 2 minutes. I'm already 10 seconds in because of how I do my timer. So I have to be at the elevator at a minute 50 from now. Okay, I'm gonna go down. I've noticed that the guy from the top comes down, so I'm gonna go down again. This idea, I don't know why this idea works, but the top guy likes to come down to the bottom guy. I've seen that happen a lot. There's a double. Get that guy. Okay, 17 seconds moving on to the next screen is really good. Alright. Again, I want a double here. And I missed the double. And I almost had the same thing happen because earlier that night I got hit by the guy on the left side. He was not acting nice. Okay, so this guy here, this is easy. 1, 2, 3. Again, stay on the top. Don't go down unless you really need to. And see, that guy on the bottom came to me. There was really no need for me to go down, hit the guy, and then have that guy that kicked in from the right side. That wastes like a second or two. Okay, hairsprays. Hi-Fi, that's for you. Hairsprays. I do a zigzag pattern. You can jump around. Whatever you do to try to avoid it, just avoid them. Don't get hit. Okay, blues, 1, 2, and then I kind of do the same thing I did with the blues earlier in the Baxter mutation stage. I try to get the double. Well, I hit the one on top, go to the bottom, get him. Doggies. These doggies were not playing nice at the beginning, but then they were. They were spawning in good locations at the end here. Do jump kicks as needed. And there you go. Okay, don't get hit by these guns. Stay up top and just do one jump and move. I mean, that's all you got to do. Just do one jump and you avoid everything. Okay, gunners. You want to try to stay in the middle. This is what I do. I just stay in the middle and just take these guys out one at a time. Again, holding B saves a lot of time here. Okay, that guy was coming for me. So you notice how that guy was coming to me. Notice how that guy was coming to me at the end there. That gunner was coming to me, and I kept going up because I knew if I stopped, he was going to try to hit me. So I let him come up to me. Really, he came up. He wanted me, it looked like. But I hit him and took it. Got rid of him from there. Take the two guys out on the right side, and then the guy from the left is going to jump. Take him out if you need to. Okay. Try to stay middle here. See if they'll come to you. Most of them will spawn from the top. Again, try to stay to the top. Hairsprays, avoid them. I would say so. I've noticed that I've done better with jump kicks at certain points. That's a good question, Rodas. I think so. I think at certain parts in the game, a jump kick will get the job done faster instead of walking over there, because sometimes the guy doesn't come to you. And so I'd rather take out the jump kick, take him out with a jump kick, than jump back over really quick, because it looks like the jump kick moves slightly faster than walking. So I would definitely do a jump kick over versus just waiting for it. Now with the gunners, you're risking a lot with the gunners when you try to do a jump kick. That's why I say stay middle, and then stay middle on that section with the whites, because you have that laser there. Jumping over, and if you get hit by that laser, that's a time waste. So I rather prefer to stay in the middle in those two sections. But anywhere else, like jump kicks, I try to utilize them as much as I can. You know, and if I don't need to move, the better. But if I need to move to the other side faster, then jump kick is probably the best option for you, at least in this version of the game, because the jump kicks really don't work in the US version. So you are just going to walk normal movement in the US version compared to you want to take out jump kicks when use the jump kicks when you need to take out some dudes. Alright, so this part here, I'm going to give out a shout out to Hi-Fi. He likes to put the controller down and goes down to the very bottom because guess what? The balls won't hit him when you go down to the very, very bottom. So shout out to Hi-Fi on that. Okay, anyway, gunners again. I'm going to take the guy on the top first. Let that guy come to me, and then I'm going to try to get to the middle because eventually those guys are going to come over. And see, Rotos, this is where I don't want to risk the jump kicks because the gunners like to swing their guns at you, and so I don't want to do the jump kicks there. Okay, these are the roadkill Rodneys again. Last time you see them, last part of the game where you see them. I jump back towards the middle because I want to try to see where they're going to come from. Okay, there we go. Roadkill Rodneys. Jump towards the middle. There's the guys from the right, and then go to the left. This is a very good time. Going into this, if you're in this section in under 3 minutes, this is a very good time. Okay, a very good time. Okay, I think it's 12 of these. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, staying on the top. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Staying on the top. Okay, this is my general trog strat here. What I'll do first, and this was so weird. I've never had this happen before. This is the first time I've ever seen this happen with General Trog. Just see it first. Hit him once. I hit him 4 times without getting hit, and I've never had that happen before. I hit him once, and it didn't do what I wanted him to do. He didn't swing until as I was coming down, and then I hit him 3 times, and I was like, I just hit him 4 times without getting hit. That's a little odd, because usually he hits you after the 3 hits, or tries to swing after the first hit. But anyway, so my strat is that I'll do a hit and then jump up. And what happens with that first hit, when you hit him once, it actually hits him twice. And I discovered that as I was doing his fights, as I was playing through his fights over and over and over again, that one hit was counting for 2. And so I was like, well, why just sit there trying to, hit when you can probably save your health and try to save a life instead of having to get hit and lose the life and then come back in. You're actually losing like a second or 2 on just the death animation and coming back in and then going back over to fight him. So I said, okay, I'm going to hit him once, jump, and what happens is when you hit him, jump, he swings. And so I was like, whoa, okay, so this is the easier strat here. So hit him once, jump, hit him once, jump, hit him once. And then after a while, I'll finally start attacking him. I think I do it about after 10 or so. And then I start attacking him. So I try to go for the 1, 2, 3. Try to get the 3 hit. So I try to get the 3 hit here. And then he'll smack my face. But I didn't get it there. But that's the trick to General Trog. And that actually is a faster fight than just trying to hack at him. I actually got a good time save, about 3 seconds there, and I PB'd on those 2 stages. So on Shogun and General Trog, I PB'd. Very crazy. All right, Krang. I don't know what else we could say about Krang. I mean, I never got a 1 cycle Krang until yesterday when I was doing a run on a 27 run. I've never seen a 1 cycle Krang on a 27 run. I've never gotten one until one time yesterday when I was running it. But this run, it does not feature that. It's possible to get a 1 cycle Krang. I've seen them as fast as the one you see there in 54 seconds. Really crazy because I still had 2 bars left. Usually you'll have 1 bar left, but he was not giving me anything. But this was, I would probably say, if he would have gave me 1 cycle Krang, that would have really made this time really impressive. But he didn't. He gave me a mediocre one. Okay, so here we go. Shredder. This is the strat I do. Yeah, one cycle means one life. Yep. Yep, I want to get it done in one life. That's what we call the one cycle craying, is that we don't die during the fight. And so most of these are 2 cycles. Most of the time you're going to get a 2 cycle. It's like very rare that we get 1 cycles. Okay, so Shredder. So coming into this part of the game, I've never seen 25 minutes 50 something seconds by the time I'm in the Shredder fight. I've never seen that. This is how crazy it got. And I also noticed that I was like, okay, I can get an 8-second time save still, just because, well, not the full 8, but I knew I could get some kind of time save if I did Shredder right. And this is the Shredder strat that I normally do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a special slash first when he comes in, and always hit the one on the right, because that's the one that you're going to take care of. It's the one on the right. Okay, so I'm going to hold B. I'm going to wait for Shredder to come in. Okay, there's my slash, and then I jump up, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to jump kick as fast as I can over to that left side, and watch what happens when you do this. You get the Ghost Shredder to get stuck for a second to do his electricity move, the one hit KO electricity mini turtle, whatever he does. Okay, so again, I'm on the right pixel as well. Okay, you want to be slightly below that line with your shadow, and so I'm in the right frames, right pixels, so he's not going to hit me. Okay, and in the real Shredder is like, I don't know how to describe this, but he's like in a trance thing where he's like, okay, I'm focused on getting to this one spot, and I'm not going to do anything else but go to this one spot. And the cool thing is, when he's doing that, you can give him a special slash, and he won't do anything about it. It's really weird. It's kind of funny to watch, because I've noticed that a couple of times as I was doing these runs and doing these Shredder fights, that this actually works. So he's focused on getting to that one spot, and he wants to hit you, but at the same time, he's like not focused on hitting. He's focused on getting to a spot. It's weird. So he's gonna go to a spot, and I'm gonna give him a special slash. Okay, and now I'm gonna do my jump kicks. Now look at the Ghost Shredder. He's already done his thing. Okay, the Ghost Shredder's already done his thing. So I'm gonna do a couple of kicks right here. Okay, so I noticed that the Ghost Shredder is about to come in, and I'm like, okay, when is he gonna make his slash? Because if I come down and he does his slash, he's gonna hit me. So he finally does his slash. I do a late kick coming in, and then I realize he's not going to slash right now. He's hit me, but I got out of there. So try to jump as fast as you can. As soon as you get hit, try to jump out of that as fast as you can and try to get those kicks in. So I started timing the kicks, and then Ghost Shredder, sometimes he'll stay there for a while, and then sometimes he'll do this. He'll actually go to you, does a few of his slashes, and then leaves. Sometimes he's there for a good like 10 seconds. You're like, please go away, please go away, please go away. Then he finally goes away. Okay, but he finally goes away here. I knew I was in the clear as soon as he started moving away, and I was like, okay, just focus on jump kicks and don't get hit. Okay, so I focus on the apex of the jump and come down so that Shredder has enough time to do whatever he needs to do, and I come down and hit him because now he's vulnerable. So I'm just jumping, apex, apex, and then this is how you can tell that Shredder is going to stay there. If you saw what he just did, the Ghost Shredder came down really quick into that spot, and if he comes down really quick in that spot, he's going to stay there. I've had instances where he'll like keep moving, and all of a sudden he'll like slowly go over there. He does this thing, and then guess what happens? If you see him slowly go over to that spot, he's going to come back. He's going to come back. So that means your pixel might be slightly off. So I've adjusted the pixel from time to time where if he's done that and he comes back over, I'll go down a little bit just to see if he'll go back and do his thing, and most of the time he does. I try to adjust where the pixel is a little bit to kind of get him to get out of there so that he doesn't try to get me. But be careful on a couple things. They can switch and they can mess it up. If they switch, I recommend if they switch this, I try to keep focused on the main shredder. But if they do switch, just jump over to the other side and just start focusing on the other side, because it's gonna get that ghost shredder to go to the other side and get him linked into the electricity move, and then you could possibly just keep him there. So I would just do that. But right now, I got them locked in. I'm just gonna do my jump kicks, jumping at the apex again. You don't want to jump too early. You don't want to mess up the pattern, especially when he goes down. Let me see if you can catch him when he goes down. And there's one instance where he goes down. When he goes down, that's the scary one, because you want to make sure you hit him, and if you don't hit him on when he's doing his slash, if he waits a little slight couple tenths of a second there, he's gonna hit me. So that's why I try to jump from the apex versus try to do quick jumps at him and keep jumping. See, there he does it again. You just want to make sure he's vulnerable, because he'll slash every time out of the kick. Just keep jumping. Okay, once his helmet flies off, oof, those when he goes down, it just cringes sometimes. Okay, when the helmet flies off, okay, 7, count 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, and you want this ghost shredder to be as far away as possible at the time you're trying to do this, because if he comes back near the end, he could mess things up on the last hit that you need to get on the shredder. 5, 6, and 7, and there it is. Okay, 7 hits right there at the end. 27:10. However, we make the time when the screen shakes, so that's 3 seconds after. That's 3 seconds after you kill Shredder, and right there it is, and there's the run. And so there's a lot of things that I do with the run. There's a lot of different ideas that I pose at different parts of the stages, and it's like I said, it's pretty crazy. I mean, this run has gone so many different ways for me recently. I was literally just gonna stop at the 27:33 that I had. And then I was like, you know what? Let's try to get that 27:20 range, and it should be done. But then this run happened, and now I'm really done with it. The goal now is to try to get this game onto at one of the GDQs. It's never been played before at one of the GDQs, so I'm going to try to do the best I can to see if I can get this game submitted and get a run on this game. This version of the game, I like this version of the game versus the US, just because of the little things like you hold B, you can get the jump kicks in. I mean, a lot of stuff that can happen in this version of the game where you can't do it in the US version. And this game moves a little bit faster and quicker, and that's one thing I love about this version of the game versus the US. I mean, I love the US version, and I running it in second place right now and trying to still learn that version of the game, but this version is pretty good. So I'll be willing to help anybody who wants to learn how to run this game, and try to help them as much as I can. It really starts off learning the beginning stages first before you learn the end stages is probably my biggest suggestion, because that was my focus first when I started running this game, was the beginning stages, learning those strats first. Learn the strats at the beginning stages first versus the later stages, and it'll all come together. Because there's so many different things you have to do in the later stages versus the beginning stages, and those are pretty good. Does the boss strats work for co-op? My friend and I tested out. Bebop works. Rocksteady works. Tora, you have to do something different, because the way his AI works, you can't keep doing the jump kicks, because eventually he'll go to the other turtle. Baxter is pretty much the same. The cool thing about co-op though, there's like a double hit that you can do on the bosses where you can hit them twice, and so that's the thing that's interesting about it, is that you can do you can get like double hits on the boss fights. So like if I'm doing the fight on Rocksteady and my co-op partner comes over to and does the same stuff and does the same hits, you can take care of enemies faster, and that's specifically has worked on Shogun. That specifically has worked on Granitor. Granitor and Shogun can get done in seconds using the double hit strategy with both turtles. Same with Krang. It's quicker. It is faster to get rid of Krang with that idea. So these strategies do work. You just have to have the right person helping you do that. The only one that doesn't work very well is Tora. Tora is the one you have to have one guy on the left, one guy on the right, and just flat out just try to beat the snot out of him. That's all I can say. The jump kicks won't work there. Trying to think what else is there. Getting the kicks in together on Shredder is the goal. And utilizing the same strat there for that. Trying to get the kicks in. And then General Trog. I think the idea works. I mean, it's just you gotta just know what the pattern is and just work the pattern together. And a lot of this is like a togetherness kind of stuff, because eventually the boss locks on to the second guy. The boss locks on back and forth between you and the other person, and so if you're both doing the same thing, then it's faster, because then you can get the double hits on them. So those are the strats that I'd say would work on co-op. Like you said, you're gonna have to just do something different for Tora. Tora is not gonna work on the strats here, but everything else works pretty well. So those are the strats that I utilize for the Japanese version. Anytime I play it, I look for those specific points within the stage, these specific ideas within the stage. Some of it's based on timing, some of it's based on screen wraparound, how you're rolling the screen onto the next phase. So a lot of things going on within the run, and I mean, even though this was a world record, the best world record that you'll probably see of this game, like I said, it basically comes down to the last five, the bottom five, because I call the first five free, the last five not. So if you get any time saves in the last five here, then you're golden. Then you're on a good path for a PB, because the time saves are more needed at the end of the game versus the beginning of the game. You could have a great run to start the game and then get the Shogun and have everything ruined and lose 20 seconds. Literally, I mean, if his head flies off, you've lost almost the entire advantage you had before going in. And so that was what my biggest worry was going into that stage. Is Shogun was, I hadn't had a good Shogun at all when I've had good advantages like this, and it just happened. I mean, had a perfect Shogun. Pretty much could have been the greatest Shogun, minus a couple minor errors in that stage. But still, I mean, you can get the Shogun and lose everything, and basically that's basically your run. If you get the Shogun and you have a time save, you might be pretty good. You might be getting a good time there. But if you're past Shogun and you've lost everything, you might as well reset and start over, because the time saves are not happening at the end. You're not likely to get a one cycle Krang. Shredder can be a pain in the butt. He's going to average between a minute 15 and a minute 20, sometimes a minute 25 at the latest. And so if you don't get those time saves prior to the end of the game, the PBs just don't happen. And so Those are the strategies I utilize. I kind of try to use prediction. I try to kind of utilize what I see and what I notice. I try to stay more on the top part of the screen versus the bottom, because more enemies spawn top versus bottom. Only go down to the bottom when he's maybe the last enemy down there and you have to just take care of it. Try not to do anything fancy. Utilize jump kicks when needed. Sometimes use a twist slash when needed. Those things will come and help you. Anyway, if you have, like I said, any other questions, I can try to do the best I can to explain it. Junkyard Dave, shout outs to Junkyard Dave first for getting me hooked onto this game and showing me how to play this game, giving me strategies to play this game. It was fun battling between him and him and I when we were doing our runs in the 28s at the early part of this year, and now it's down to this time, and I want to see Dave get to 27. I really think Dave could get down to the 27s. I really think Dave can actually get down to the 27, 40s, 30s range. I definitely think he has that potential. And then shout outs to Frank FC. Frank's done a lot of work on this game on the U.S. side, and a lot of it's transferred over to the Japanese sides. So has Junkyard. Junkyard has done lots of stuff here with this side of the game. Even shout outs to Bays86. I don't know where you are, man, but you know, former world record holder. He had a fantastic run until we finally broken the game down into pieces in the last several months. And shout outs to the community, guys. You guys are awesome. Keep it up. I'm always here to help you guys if you want to get into this game. This is the easy version of the game. I like this version. This version is very easy to get into and learn how to do. And a lot of the stuff that I found from this version actually does transfer over to the US version. Not the kicks though, but I mean, you can utilize some of the other strategies that I've done here into the US version. That's why I've been able to really get onto those times already with the US time, because these strats here from the Japanese, actually some of them have translated over to the US side, and hence I've got 32:07 as my second place time right now. So it works. It really does. And so like I said, ask me questions on the Discord, ask me questions on YouTube, on Twitch, whatever. If you want to get to run into this game, feel free to ask us, because we will be willing to help you learn how to do this game and everything. And let's get Turtles 2 at AGDQ 2019. Let's get that to happen. And that's it, guys. That's it. Again, shout outs to everybody, and thank you so much for watching this tutorial. And if you have any questions, again, ask me. Okay, have a good night, guys, and I'll put this up on YouTube. I'll try to get this over on YouTube, and you know, watch it in parts, whatever you need. Watch it in parts and look at what I do and see if you can kind of try to match those ideas. Thanks, Rotos, for tuning in. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool game. I love it, and thanks for the shout out. And thanks for being in here tonight. Hi-Fi, thank you for coming in as well. Okay, guys, have a good night.